Sorry, my peoples. Yo. It's monkey right there. Monkey as I hopped in my 78, realized I got nowhere to go, so I just rolled. Fire up a cigarette.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we are back for another one. Alright, y'all, so today's topic is going to be, should Manny Pacquiao fight Terence Crawford or Errol Spence Jr. after Ugas? You know, it's a very interesting question. I know it's like, hey, he's got to be you guys first. But you know what? I'm not doubting Manny Pacquiao's skill set at 42 years of age. I know a lot of people are a little shaky. You know, it's funny because a lot of people are more shaky about the you guys fight than they was about the Spence fight. Like, everybody was hyped about the Spence fight, but now that he's fighting you guys, some people seem to think that you guys might really beat him. I just don't see that. I think you guys is gonna give him a good fight. Don't get me wrong, but if you watch the you guys Sean Porter fight, which I watched that live, you should have seen the openings that Manny Pacquiao should be able to take advantage of in you guys' boxing style. He's a very come forward style fighter. He's a big guy, so he's gonna throw looping punches. He's got a good chin, but I don't know if he can contend with the speed. Not the speed, but I think the angles of Manny Pacquiao are really going to give him trouble. I don't know if he's going to be able to deal with those angles because Sean Porter was able to take advantage of some of those angles. But I think he beat Porter, personally. I think he beat Porter. But I think Sean Porter was able to take advantage of some of those angles. Porter just don't have that snap on his punch quite like Pacquiao does. So who should he actually be pursuing in the future? Because I don't believe this is going to be the last time we see Manny Pacquiao in a boxing ring. I do believe he's going to win the presidency of the Philippines. He said he wanted 2 fights in 2021. We pushing it, but there's still time for him to fight one more time in 2021 and then hang it up. And I feel like it should be, I want the full unification. I really want it. But I don't want him to have to fight both Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. And it's going to take 2 months for Errol Spence to heal. August, September, it'll be October by the time he can go back. Then you got November, December, and that's the end of the year, man. So we barely got 5 months left in this year. I don't know if that's enough time for Spence and Crawford to work it out. You know, hopefully maybe they can figure something out behind the scenes, and we'll get a fight with those guys maybe around Christmas time, you know, New Year's time, and then they'll work it out to where the winner gets to fight Manny Pacquiao. And I'm hoping that's how it plays out. Now, which one of those 2 guys do I think would win that fight? I was leaning toward Errol Spence Jr. at first if he fought Terence Crawford. But with this eye injury, I don't know, to be quite honest with you, who's going to win. I'm still leaning slightly towards Spence Jr., but I think Crawford, if his eye is that damaged, you know, it's really hard to get an eye to work the way it originally did after you start going in there and mucking around with it with surgery. Not to say, hey, he's got way more money than I do, so I'm pretty sure he can afford some really good doctors. But I don't know, man. I think Crawford might get with him. And here's the thing about that. To me, and me, Caps, and Joe from the WhatsApp was talking yesterday, and I feel like the eye injury was the perfect out of that. It was the perfect out for him of that Manny Pacquiao fight. You know, I think whether he was injured for real or, you know, was bothering him, and he just needed it out of that fight. Because here's the thing. If he loses to Pacquiao, I feel like it's not that bad if he loses to Pacquiao. But I think in the mind of a lot of people, he would have lost to the old guy. Me, personally, I would be of the opinion that, hey, you fought an older legend who's been through many wars, and who's just a different type of fighter. Manny Pacquiao doesn't have a lot of, here's the thing, a lot of professional athletes break down because of their own devices. People think these people just got old and they lost all their talent. It doesn't work like that in life. There's a lot of people I know in their 50s, 60s, and 70s are in better shape than I am. And I say that for a reason, because Manny Pacquiao is not like most people. Manny Pacquiao lives a much more cleaner life. There's a lot of athletes who smoke. There's a lot of athletes who drink a lot. and people think in the moment it's not going to have an effect on you 20 years from now. But if you're an athlete and you all of a sudden stop doing what you've been doing for 5 or 10, 15 years, and you start smoking and drinking and eating fast food and fatty foods every day for a year, 2 years, you're not going to be the same guy when you come back. And most people start doing that in life once they start getting older. They start to eat more, consume bad things, drink, smoke, and it has an effect on them down the line. And some of them try to keep doing their professional sport, and it ends up backfiring on them because they come back, they're slower, they're big, they can't do the things they did before they started down the road of bad habits. So I think Manny Pacquiao, lucky for him, doesn't have a lot of bad habits. So he's able to, in older age, do things the average person wouldn't do. And that's the problem with most people. When they look at Manny Pacquiao, they're looking at Pacquiao through their own eyes. Like, oh, if I was 42 years of age, I wouldn't be able to do that. Or I saw this fighter at 42, he couldn't do that. What makes Pacquiao think he can do it? Well, Pacquiao's not you and you're not Pacquiao. And I'm pretty sure you don't get up and run every day. I don't get up and run every day. I work out from time to time, but I don't have the time. I have a normal life, so, I have to do things that a lot of normal people do. So I don't have the time to just go running or just go, I don't do all those things. Pacquiao does. He lives a superstar lifestyle, and he takes advantage of that. And he's a very God-fearing person. So, I think because of that, it puts him in a different category when it comes to aging, in sports. So with all that being said, I think Errol Spence Jr. got the perfect out of the Manny Pacquiao fight because he didn't want to lose to the old guy. But I think if he fought Terence Crawford and lost, I don't think it would be so bad in fans' mind, because he'd be able to get a rematch and all that stuff. They could fight again. He could possibly win. If he fights Manny Pacquiao and loses, Pacquiao's going to go into retirement with them belts. Whichever one of those guys Pacquiao fights, if he beats either one of them, he's going into retirement with those belts. So you're never going to get that shot again. I think if Pacquiao beats either Crawford or Spence and unifies titles, the only way he wouldn't retire would be to get that Floyd Mayweather fight back. I think even if he beat him, and then Marquez came out and asked to fight Pacquiao, I don't think Pacquiao would take it now. I think the only way would be Floyd Mayweather Jr. And I just feel like that Manny Pacquiao is going to beat Yordenis Ugas. I think the big question now is, who is he going to fight next, and when are we going to get that fight, and will it be before the ball gets to rolling with his presidential run, because that's going to affect. We see how the senator stuff has affected Pacquiao's career. We could have got a bunch of fights out of Pacquiao if it wasn't for his senatorial duties by now. We could have got a whole bunch of fights out of Pacquiao, but because of his Senate duties, we just haven't got those fights toward the end of his career, which might actually be a good thing, because in a way, I think it's preserving Pacquiao, because he's not been out here going to war 2 or 3 times a year for the past few years. So his body's kind of preserved a little bit. And he's, like I said before, he's a different type of human being. He takes care of himself, he treats his body like a machine. So his machine is fine-tuned and well-oiled. So let me know what y'all think. Who should Manny Pacquiao face next? I got a comment last night, and someone suggested he go down and wait and fight Tank Davis. And I commented back, and I was like, yeah, it would be a heck of a fight, but I don't see that being possible, because Pacquiao would have to lose 17 pounds just to fight at 130. It doesn't make sense for him to go down that far to fight Tank Davis. It just doesn't. It would be a great fight, but it would make more sense. Let's say, he beats you guys and Spence and Crawford try to duck him some more. What could be Manny Pacquiao's ultimate retirement fight other than a Spence or Crawford fight? Well, of course, would Mayweather be willing to fight him again? That's always out there. I'm not sure if Mayweather would be willing. It all depends on the money when it comes to Mayweather. But there's the two golden gooses that are always out there for Pacquiao. If he wants to make some big money and have a spectacular retirement fight, you got Triple G and you got Canelo. Now, of course, Canelo will have to come down in weight about 5 or 6 pounds, and Pacquiao will have to go up about 5 or 6 pounds to about 155 for the. I'm not sure. Actually, I think Canelo's fighting at 170 now. So Canelo will have to lose quite a bit of weight to meet Pacquiao, like 155, 160. Triple G, on the other hand, I think he's still at like 150 something. I'm not sure if he might be at 160, 172, but I think the 155, 160 range, you can make either of those fights happen. And it would be huge money. It would be spectacular for the fans. It would be a great fight, a great ending to Manny Pacquiao's career. But it wouldn't be the history-making event Pacquiao wanted. And that would have been to beat Errol Spence or Terence Crawford. And I feel like we are going to get one of those fights before Manny Pacquiao retires. I think it's unfair that this situation came up for Pacquiao, but, that's life. The past year and a half of life has been insane. And, we should be used to this insanity by now. So, do I feel like, one last point, do I feel like PBC boxing set Manny Pacquiao up as well as Errol Spence duck to keep Pacquiao around for another fight? I think that they're probably the happiest the happiest people right now, because there is a possibility of them getting one more Pacquiao fight. Maybe even 2 more Pacquiao fights. And you know what comes along with Pacquiao fights? Big money. Let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section. Hit that like button for me, and please subscribe. Thank you, man, to everybody who subscribed to this point, man. All the new subscribers, everybody's been supporting, man. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to start touching on new topics, man, so keep supporting, man. If you see a Cardinal Red video, please make sure you click on it, man. Give me a few minutes of your time, man. I really appreciate it. I'm going to keep trying to drop these gems on y'all. Definitely will be going live here pretty soon. If I don't do it tomorrow, it'll be the day of the fight. So be looking out for that. It's your boy Cardinal Red, and we are out of here. Hey, where we at, man? Hold on, let's see where we at, man. I had to shut that, man, because the noise. It's too much exposure. We can't see. All right, bro. It's your boy Red, and we out here.